Hello and welcome. My name is Mandy Barr, and I am happy to welcome you all back tonight, or for those that are joining for the first time, to our masterclass, Reinventing Your Life After Divorce. I am a Clarity Catalyst facilitator, as well as I am a concierge specialist with Vesta. So I have had the good fortune of speaking to many of you in the past, and I appreciate you giving us your time and joining us for our masterclass. Miss
Yes.
Karen?
Hi, I'm back tonight. I didn't have my voice last week, so I'm happy to be here. My name is Karen. I am a coach. I work for Vesta, recently started in December as a concierge specialist, and I'm also a facilitator for Clarity Catalyst. And super happy to be here. I do have my water because I'm about 95% back with my voice, so I'll be sipping on water here and there, but excited to be here tonight with all of you.
Yay. Like I said, tonight's topic is reinventing your life after divorce. And you know what? It doesn't really matter what stage of the divorce process you're in, whether you are in the thick of it, you're many years post-divorce, or just beginning the process, because we all are reinventing ourselves and our lives periodically. And
Mhm.
so this is applicable for myself and for Karen as well, as we think about areas of our life that we want to improve.
Yep.
And this hour together is going to be a chance for us to see what's working in our life, what's not working, where are we stuck, where do we need clarity, and perhaps what is working really well for you. Again, the tools that we're sharing tonight are directly from our 8-week course that we offer, which is the Clarity Catalyst class based on a Stanford University master's degree program, but we can get into that more later.
Yes, let's get started
Let's
then.
get at it.
Yeah, so we want to start by getting clear about what we want in life and what our purpose is. So we're going to get some tools and some areas of how to calm the noise and start to get clear with what we want for our futures.
And we're going to learn how to silence that like inner critic, that voice that all of us have inside of our head, which we lovingly call the itty bitty shitty committee, so that we can fearlessly go after our dreams and stop being like held back from this voice of judgment.
And it starts with a shift in perspective from feeling like that victim mentality of why is this happening to me, and making that little shift of why is this happening for me, and really becoming the creator of our own reality, because we are responsible for that when we change that perspective.
We're going to discover what's blocking you. For many of us, it's fear, but fear of what? It's blocking you from being able to reach your highest potential, whether it be you want to look at your personal life or your professional life, because depending on where we are in our journey, we may want to focus on our personal life and how to reinvent that side of ourselves. Be miserable or motivate yourself. Whatever has to be done, it is your choice. And isn't it
Mhm.
so true that we can decide that we're going to be stuck in that muck, or we can want to make a change? One of my favorite little stories is there's two houses and they both get delivered unexpected manure to their front of their lawn. One person walks out of their house. What is going on? Can you believe this? Somebody put manure all over our lawn. This is disgusting. And the other person comes out and says, what a blessing. We have manure. This is fantastic. We can put it in our garden. Our grass is going to grow. And it's all about how we decide to look at this shit in our life and we want to tackle it. A little funny there. I mean, it's really just an opportunity, whether it be happening to you or for you, it's an opportunity for you to grow.
Yes, it's that changing and perspective, even from the manure in your yard. So today we're going to receive powerful tools and hopefully some practical techniques that you can start implementing immediately. to get past some of these things that have you stuck right now in life. And again, we've taken these from our course and just really excited. So I think Mandy already said to get that pen and paper together, because we're going to be having you do some little practices here and getting started.
Why do we get stuck? Usually because it's unclear about what we want next out of life. Maybe we feel trapped in a job that doesn't excite us anymore, or perhaps that we haven't found our purpose. And maybe we're not able to manage our time, or we procrastinate so that we don't reach any of our goals. And perhaps we don't feel good enough or worthy of success. These are all thoughts that we get caught up in that keep us trapped and stuck in our way.
And I know we all have different reasons for why we get stuck, but there's just that time in life where we're just not sure about what's going on in life. And I know divorce is one of those huge times of just
Mm,
feeling, oh my gosh, what is next? What's going to be happening? New people in my life, different houses to live in, when you're not living on purpose. And again, feeling stuck is just a place none of us want to be. And so we're hoping these techniques and tools will help you tonight. We're hoping it's going to be about as easy as ABC, and we're going to have an action, belief, and clarity will help with that success. Again, getting unstuck is a definite thing in divorce that we have to work through. And so we work with this starting backwards. We go backwards to starting with C, which is clarity, and finding that clarity that we need to take those next action steps to go forward.
mm,
Um, yeah,
yes.
we have a pretty good idea of what things people are dealing with and feeling.
Mhm.
Again, that cultivating clarity, we need to start by looking at all of that, all of those pies, that wheel that we have of all of our
Mhm.
different things in life. So we're going to have you draw this circle, and with all the different wheels,
Yeah.
the pie chart of
So we call
everything.
this the wheel of life. And the reason why we start with clarity, we start with the letter C rather than A or B, is because we can't take action, and we can't really look at our beliefs when we don't really know where we might be stuck, or where we're unclear in. So by doing the wheel of life, we get to take a look at these different components of our life and be able to dial into a piece of the pie, if you will, that we can focus on for this evening. So we'll give you just a couple of minutes to draw this wheel out, and it doesn't need to be perfect. We're going to start with health first. And I guess I can just go into what 0 is and what 10 would be. On the wheel, 0 is it's a complete debacle. You need a full-on intervention. And 10 is going to be your picture is next to the definition of health. There's no improvement needed. And I'd like to say that I like to have I always like to be growing and improving. So again, 0, we're a total debacle. 10, you are the epitome of that. Let's look at for those that just joined, we're just creating a circle, which we're calling the wheel of life. And we are marking each piece of the pie for the various sectors of our life. And we're going to be rating everything from a 10 to a 0, 10 being great, 1 being a full-on intervention. Okay. So let's look at our health wheel, and let's think about health in terms of our overall health. Are we sleeping well? Are we eating well? Are you moving your body? Are you doing your well exams for depending upon like what age group you are? I know that when I turned 50, it was like, oh, all of a sudden now I have to get a colonoscopy. Are we doing the things that we need to be doing to take care of ourselves on a health side? Okay, and at 10, we feel really good about our health. 0 being we haven't given it any attention. And I think most of us probably fall in that 7 to 4 range. And the goal is to just give yourself a number marking for each of these areas. All right, so now we're gonna go into our living space. So your living space, for some of you, maybe you're still living in the marital home. Maybe some of you are still cohabitating with your soon-to-be ex, or perhaps you've moved out of your home or you're in a new space. So what does that look like? Do you feel like you're thriving in your space? Do you feel that it's like a sanctuary? You're happy to come home? Or is this an area where you don't feel safe and you need to make some changes? Again, 0 being like a total overhaul, and 10 being you love where you live, you love your living space. All right. And if at any point I'm moving too quickly through the wheel, please feel free to make a note, send a note, or raise your hand, or tell me to slow down. I know that sometimes we can move through these quickly because we don't have a ton of time together. All right, so the next area in our wheel is going to be family. And one of the things that definitely changes is what family looks like. So we're redefining what family is, but in your redefinition, do you feel that you have support? Do you have a good relationship with your children? Are your parents still alive? Are they part of your life? How is the communication in your family? How often do you communicate with them? Is that something that could be worked on? Do you have siblings? And how is your relationship with your siblings? All right, so next we're going to look at our finances. How do you feel about your current income? Do you have a plan for yourself? Do you need to work on rebuilding your nest egg, if you will, since going through divorce? Do you understand your finances? Would you benefit from speaking with somebody that can help you get back on track? And again, it's what it means to you, because what finances mean to me and what it means to Karen could be different. Okay, so career is number 5. If you have a career, do you feel fulfilled there? Do you wake up excited to go to work, or do you feel frustrated and bored? Or maybe you're a stay-at-home parent that now gets to reboot your career and get to start something new. I had a lovely conversation with a woman a couple weeks ago who was going to she was going to start a new career, and she was just so excited about it because the career that she was in just wasn't bringing her joy. And again, 10 is you're really happy with your career. 5 is that it could use some improvements, and 0 is doesn't exist. Spirituality here, for some of us, spirituality is our church, it's our faith. For some of us, spirituality is a very personal connection with whether it be a higher power or the universe at large or nature, even. But where's your connection to something that's outside of you? And if you don't have this and it's not something you've thought about, is it something that you'd like to maybe explore in the future? And sometimes spirituality is someone's yoga practice or their meditation practice. Again, 10 being you feel that you have a connection to something, to nature, to your breath. 5 being it could use work, and 0 being it doesn't exist. And then 7, recreation. What are we doing for fun? One of the things that I remember once I got past the sadness of my divorce, that I remember being excited about making new friends and going on ski trips and doing play dates with single mom friends. When it's something that you get to find a hobby you enjoy, join a book club. What are you doing for fun? Like what lights you up? And this could be something that you strive for and you're looking forward to. 8, we oscillate with taking this out or not because many of us are not thinking about romance, but romance could also be like dating yourself again and finding out who you are and buying yourself flowers and writing yourself notes as to what makes you a remarkable person, dating yourself again. And I think that there's something so beautiful to that. I remember I gave myself a year after my divorce was final before I started back out there, and that's what I did. I picked up running and I focused on making new friends, and I really got to know myself again because I felt like I got lost somehow in I lost my own identity in marriage. But that's just true for me. Treat yourself like a king or a queen,
Yeah.
because how we treat ourselves is how we teach other people how to treat us. You're going to just connect the dots. But if you didn't do the dots and you just did numbers for each section, pick a couple that you might want to dive into a little bit deeper tonight, because we're going to be coming back to this wheel as we dive into a couple other topics.
I mean, the idea, of course, we want to have a wheel that goes perfectly round, and that's in a perfect world, but we know we don't have that. But it's such a good practice to do often, to just see where you are at on this wheel of life and how balanced everything is. I know when I did it, mine looked pretty flat on one and good on the others. So it's an interesting thing to do.
Move on to the
Let's get
next
moving
section, but we're
on.
going to be coming back to our wheel and just be thinking about what section on the wheel do you want to focus on as we do some intention setting later on.
So when we talk about the C part of this equation, it's cultivating clarity, and through mindfulness and meditation and journaling, it's really about just quieting all those inner thoughts and all of that stuff that's going on. Because there are, as we see from the chat, there's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of things going on. And then we can just quiet all the noise and just bring us back. It's going to help with everything, with stress and with getting clearer and just quieting everything. And we start with mindfulness. I know that word is thrown around so much, but really, what mindfulness is just being present. It's not worrying about the future. It's not regretting the past. It's being present with our thoughts without judgment, without saying it's good or bad, because we know we're in a situation that's not looking great. But we come to that thought more with curiosity of what am I supposed to be learning right now? And just again, when we quiet everything down, we're able to get into people call it our higher selves, our intuition. We call it yak. You always know. We have this internal guidance. And when we really sit down and quiet everything down, we can start learning and listening to that. And mindfulness can be while you're doing the dishes, just really being present with that, or cooking. It can be bringing you back to your breath by practicing in count to 4 and breathe in for 4 and hold for 4 and release for 4. It's just when you're present, you do have a lot more peace. So that's definitely something we work on during our 8-week Clarity Catalyst course, of just really finding ways of getting back into that mindfulness practice.
And one of the other really important pieces to mindfulness is meditation. And I know that we talked about this in length as one of our tools during our Overcoming Overwhelm class last week. But meditation is just so great for so many different reasons. And we can do meditation before we start our day. We can do it before we go to bed. And each purpose that we use it for can set a different intention, right? So sometimes before I start my day, I like to listen to a meditation that is going to help me have energy for the day and feel positive and be of service. And then what I would like to listen to in the evening is to help me unwind and release any stress that I may have for the day. And there are so many wonderful apps that are available that are free. There's Headspace, there's Insight Timer, there's Calm. And we have lots of meditations that are trickled in our program that we do, as well as we'll send you a bonus meditation at the end of today's session as a gift for being here with us. And that's called Meet Your Future Self, which is a really beautiful meditation. It really allows you to just leave all the worries of the past behind and really just be able to look at your glorious future self and all that you've been able to accomplish. But in addition, meditation has been shown to help with people that have Alzheimer's. It reduces the gray matter in the brain. It helps with hypertension, high blood pressure. And really, it's mainstream now as far as I'm concerned. And
Yeah.
it used to be considered like woo-woo-y, but it is definitely mainstream. And oh, and I also want to just say that there's so many different kinds of meditations. You could listen to music. Before I go to bed, I like to listen to the delta waves to calm me down. And then there's singing bowls, which I think helps to release some of that stuck energy within us. And then there's meditations that can just help lift our mood or give us energy. Just it's my fave.
Yeah. So good. So also we talked about is journaling, and so often we call it that itty bitty shitty committee that's just in our head, and it's just constantly talking, and it's negative, and it's just berating us a lot. And by clearing that with using mindfulness techniques and meditation, journaling is another really powerful tool. We try to give journal prompts to our class. But even just a free journal of just getting things out, even better than typing it into a computer or onto our phones. There's something about the written word and the power behind that. I know Mandy has called it the brain dump, where just everything that's going on is just written down. And it's also a great way to look back to say, oh gosh, I remember when I was at that state, and look how much I've improved. Look how much better things have gotten. So that's another really powerful tool that I definitely recommend. So we talked about C as part of our equation, and that B is going to be that shifting of those darn beliefs that we just have learned from a very young age of this is how it is and this is what it is. And it's just shifting that, even if it's a slight shift, can be
Mm-hmm.
so powerful.
Mm. And I think that one of the things that is important to remember is that these limiting beliefs, what we were jokingly called our itty bitty shitty committee earlier this evening, they stem from something. It stems from usually from when we were in childhood and we had something happen where perhaps we were a young kid and we thought that we were the future Picasso and we were finger painting and we thought it was a beautiful creation. And then somebody said, oh dear, maybe you should stick to playing sports. And then all of a sudden it forms this like conversation. Oh, you don't want to paint. You're not good at painting. Or maybe we used to dress in a way that was like so expressive and somebody made fun of our clothes so that it's almost every time somebody says something, we dim our light or we change. And these like sub personas are created as a result of it's done to protect us, but what happens is that we don't like keep it in check and then they just become just part of our personality
Yeah.
and it can be hurtful. So we want to make sure that we identify, hey, that is one of my sub personas, not helpful, need to squelch it and focus on what is in our highest and best self.
And that's why we like to name them. Name that little itty bitty shitty committee. It's actually really powerful when you do that. I know
Mhm.
for me, when we had to do this exercise in class, it was so much fear of always, who do you think you are? It was going to be a tagline, what are you doing? Don't do it. You're going to screw it up. And it was just a constant keeping me stuck in that fear-based fearful Franny. And so once you name it, you're able to counteract it. So
Mhm.
that's a very powerful tool. And I think you had one too, Mandy.
It did. Mine was sabotage Sammy. And her tagline was "Fuck it, let's eat."
She was quite
Um,
the saboteur. So.
yeah, she was quite the saboteur. Her little thing used to be, "You're going to screw up your diet, so you might as well eat anyways," or "Why don't you eat? It'll make you feel better." And the reason why it's really important to shift our limiting beliefs, because we want to be able to move the needle on our wheel of life. But sometimes what's going on in our wheel of life, or an area where we want to move it, let's say from a 3 to a 6, or a 4 to an 8, or whatever it may be, is
Mhm.
we have to deal with these limiting thoughts, or this committee in our head. And the way that we do that is through curiosity and figuring out, who are they? What is their name? What is their tagline? And what do they say about you? So we are going to give you a couple of minutes to identify who your just one. Typically, we have several subpersonas, but we're just going to take time to identify one. And in theory, we'd like to identify the persona that is maybe connected to the portion of your wheel of life that you want to work on tonight. So for me, Sabotage Sammy, maybe if I wanted to work on my health wheel, I would focus on her. Although she could rain on my parade pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
Mm. All right, so we're going to put 2 minutes on the clock.
Hey.
So what is one of your sub-personas names? What is its tagline? And 3 things it says about you. Mm. All right, so maybe like another 15 seconds. And I would love to hear maybe what you can just maybe share what its name is, and perhaps a tagline, maybe. So again, mine was Sabotage Sammy. Karen's was Fearful Franny. And Fearful Franny says, "Oh, wait, don't do that. You'll screw it up." Sabotage Sammy says, "Fuck it, let's eat." It is very clear that I worked in a kitchen for 25
I know.
years. I have such a potty mouth. Mm.
Right.
And I think that it's important that as we identify these sub-personas, that we spend some time figuring out, where did they come from?
Mhm.
So what we do in the Clarity Catalyst class is that we look at these sub-personas, and then we create a persona that is of our highest self.
The number that what we do to ourselves, and really we can flip that and creating another persona that's
Yeah.
the complete opposite and complete different.
Yep. And that was actually in our Overcoming Overwhelm class. That was our 10th tool, was
Yes.
creating a superhero.
Yes.
And that is like something that you step into that you want to emulate and you want to embrace. So the
Yeah.
idea is to these by identifying our subpersonas, like we are taking them out of the dark, we're putting them in the light, we're shining the light on them. And what
Mhm.
happens to a monster when you shine the light on them? It
Right.
gets smaller.
Yeah.
And then we're able to get curious as to where is this coming from and really dive down to realize that little girl isn't what that person had said to me when I was a kid, and that I get to
Absolutely.
step into my like full authenticity.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
Now we're going to get to the A part of it, which is action. But obviously, we got to know why we don't take that action, right?
Mm,
There's lots of fear that keeps us paralyzed. It's amazing what fear can do. It can really keep us just completely paralyzed, where we just don't know what direction to go. And in divorce, there's so many different ways that this shows up, this little
yeah.
fearful Franny.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. And the whole idea about being stuck and the fear, it goes back to these like sub-personas that we were just talking about. When
Right.
we let our sub-personas run the show, we're not in control anymore. And we need to take back the reins. We need to take back our reins, step into that new persona, that person that's gonna forge you
Right.
ahead.
And again, we have that fear is just there's so much fear of the unknown, the uncertainty of what's next, the fear of change, because it is a huge change. Fear of the losing control of the legal process and not understanding it. Yeah, we just have so much during a divorce and through divorce and after divorce. So just again, you said, reining that in and figuring out next steps for that. So we think
Absolutely.
making a declaration is the best way to make that first step.
Yes. All right. So this is where we're going to grab our wheel of life again. And we're going to take a look at what we want to improve on. So let's just say, I know for me, and I always feel embarrassed to say this, but this is just the truth. Like when I was going through my own divorce, I had stopped like doing any of my visits, my exams, my preventative maintenance, if you will. And I don't think I had been to the dentist. It was just, it was gross. So like, a declaration for me as it relates to health could be I feel healthy now that I have scheduled my appointments to have my preventative maintenance. I feel healthy now that I've seen a dentist. Or if it is your career, I feel empowered now that I have updated my resume. Or I feel empowered now that I've attended a class on how to work on my resume or how to network. So, whatever it is in your wheel, or perhaps it's finances, I feel secure now that I've scheduled an appointment with a financial advisor to understand my post-divorce budget. So, do you get like where we're going with this? So we'll just take a minute. Somebody was saying something about like they felt like they had stepped away from their spirituality. So maybe it could be I feel grounded now that I have found a spiritual practice that makes me feel connected.
Right. And sometimes just action is just taking that one small step. And
Mm,
whatever that this declaration for you is, it's just the one little thing that you can do to take that next step. Because it's interesting when you take that step, that creates momentum to go and do the next thing. And this wheel of life, you can go back and go, okay, I've done that with my health. Now, how can I get my finances? What can I do different with finances? And it just creates that momentum when you do each one by one instead of the whole chart, because that can be the overwhelm that we all feel as well. Hopefully, people have their declaration statements.
yeah, we can give like maybe 30 more seconds. Would love to
Okay.
see what people are declaring for themselves And this is just the beginning. We get to do this. We get to do this again.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. With each piece of the pie.
Oh,
wheel.
yeah. Sorry, I was reading the chat. I might not have
I
been
know you were in the
really
chat.
listening to you. I apologize. Communication is important in all relationships.
Yes, they are. There's been a lot of good chat tonight.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, yay. That's great, Leslie.
Let's see.
I feel that I'm making progress now that I'm working on my mental health. Awesome, Karen.
Yeah.
I feel connected once I need. Awesome, Lindsay.
And see,
On that.
even this
Oh, you're doing your
declaration.
own taxes. God bless you.
Yeah, I know. That's amazing.
That
But
is
I
something I
just
will
say,
always
even making
outsource.
this declaration, it already
Yes, that's
feels,
awesome. So
yeah,
great. So
yeah,
great. I would love to see some more. So great. Yes.
I already feel like a shift with empowerment, like feeling more
Yes.
empowered just
Yes.
by making this declaration.
Absolutely, because you know what? We had to shine the light on those voices. It's when, what do they say? When you share a problem, it's halved.
Yes,
It's no longer just yours. You shared it with the community. I feel
absolutely.
relieved now that I've declared to my family and friends that I will get there, that I will get a therapist.
Good. That's
Good.
huge.
I feel
Really, really
complete
good.
that I am now settled in a new home and a new job. Wow. So amazing. So amazing. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, thanks everybody for sharing.
Wonderful.
So again, that's that measurable results action plans. It's the
Yeah.
what, the how, and by when.
Yep.
Like
So I
Mandy
know,
talking about your health appointments.
yes, I think we are going to probably be running over a few minutes. We're happy to stay to finish if everyone is happy to stay on.
Those
Yes, like Karen was just saying, that now that we have these declarations, let's make it real by putting the what. What are you doing? And how are you doing it? And by when?
they
So if
went
we were to
probably
talk about
really.
the what related to the health appointments, it's I'm making appointments to have a mammogram, a colonoscopy, and go to the dentist. The how, I'm going to pick up that 10,000-pound phone and I'm going to call all the offices to schedule my appointment. And the by when will be, I will make the call within 2 weeks and I will have all my appointments complete by, let's say, September of 2024, because usually I know my primary care
Take a
doctor
while.
books out a
Yeah.
year ahead. Yeah. But you could do the what and the how and the by when for any of the examples that I gave.
Yeah, like Dana saying that she's gonna be with a therapist and the what, and now the how and by when.
Jody's my girl. She did all of those things.
She did them, yeah.
My mammo. Awesome. And guys, what do guys have to do? They have to get their prostate, right? Do you have to do something with their prostate? No? Do you only get your prostate checked if you have something wrong? Why are you looking like that? Is that not I should not have said that?
No, I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. You had this look of I shouldn't have said that.
No, I was looking at Pat that she joined a gym and plans to go twice a week. She's starting now. It's already happening.
Awesome. Great job, Pat.
Awesome.
That's fantastic. Yes, exactly, Dana. It holds us accountable because if we just put it on paper, they're just wishes, right? But when we put a time frame on them, and now we're all accountable with one another. And I'm going to save the chat and I'm going to call you. Did you make your appointments? Yes, add
Okay.
the when. Awesome. Thank you,
So,
guys.
so again, you can do this with each of those little things in your wheel of life by getting that clarity again, trying to find some meditation practice or your mindfulness. We do a mindfulness walk where you go on a 15-minute walk without your phone or anything, and you look for a certain color. That's mindfulness. I'm going to be looking for purple on my walk. And so that's really quieting all of those little voices that are going on. we've talked about shifting those negative beliefs by naming them, and that's going to help us get unstuck. Naming those fearful Frannies and those little personas that take over. And then that declaration statement becomes your action plan.
Mhm. Absolutely. And we will also make sure that we send everyone the recording as well. And this is just taking bits and pieces again of the 8-week course that we teach.
Well,
And we really
such,
get into the sub personas. Like we spend a whole week in that and really just dive into like where did they originate from and how can we get rid of them so that, and maybe we never get rid of them, but like we identify them as soon as they pop up. I know the minute I start to get lathered up about something, I know that is, I am not operating from my highest and best. I am
right.
operating from something that is a derivative of fear.
Yeah,
And maybe it's like fear of the future or regretting the past, but I know that it's not from my most centered self and that I just need to sit. I need to pause. I usually put my hand on my heart and I take a couple deep breaths and I'm like, what is going on?
that's all in our 8-week Clarity Catalyst class. Some of the things that you would take away or learn during that time. I don't want to spend too much time because I know we're over. Here's what some of the
Yes.
things happened before and
Yes,
after.
but you know what we should tell them about? We're going to be doing a 3-day challenge.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. And we're going to start next week, Tuesday. So we're going to be doing it Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And we haven't figured out if I think we're going to be doing it on Zoom and it's going to be limited number of spaces because we really want it to be, there's no cost to it. But we want it to be interactive and we want to have an opportunity to get to know everybody a little bit better. So if you are interested in joining us in our challenge, you can
I think
type in the chat, me.
we're going to do a little bit of the Wheel of Life stuff, but we're going to get more intentional with what we're working on. We'll probably do a quick meditation on one of the days, not a long one. So nobody run away because of meditation. We'll probably do a journaling and intention setting, but if they're going to be 30-minute little quick classes, Mandy, is
Yes.
that what
So
we
it's going to
decided? Just
be
30 minutes. So,
yeah, so it's going to be 30 minutes. We're doing it at noon Eastern time, so 9 Pacific, and then any other time zone I can't keep track of in my brain. The class is $597 with the discount code Vesta at checkout will bring the class down to $497. And you can still know that you want to do the class and sign up and still be part of the challenge. It's not contingent on the other.
so that's just some of the things you can expect during the weeks that we talk about and go through. And it's a really interactive time, and it's more of a community where we're able to talk more to one another and not just through the chat. It really establishes a nice community of people. I know Lindsay's on the call. She can say something if she wants. And I know Leslie, you took it too. We will leave it at that, I think, since we went over a few minutes.
Yeah, I put the link if you guys want to check out the 8-week program. I put the link in the chat and then the code at checkout is Vesta for the $100 off. Okay, so people that are saying that they have a conflict but still want to do it, still sign
And
up.
yeah, maybe we'll offer a couple different times or something.
Oh yeah, we could do that actually. We could do
Yeah,
an
we'll
and
figure
then
it
like
out.
an evening one. Or you know what? Why don't we do noon next week because we already have it calendared and then the week
Okay.
after we could do the evening.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, and then the Clarity Catalyst class is going to start on April 23rd, and it runs for 8 weeks, and it is going to be from 7:30 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. So Leslie said the class is great. I learned so much. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Leslie.
And oh, that's right. Lindsay teaches, so she wouldn't be able to be there.
But I will say that the 8-week course is amazing. Sorry, I'm on video. I don't know how to do this. I'm on my phone. I don't have Wi-Fi at my house. So hi everybody, if you can see me now. I am still in my journal that I did my 8-week course, which was literally just about a year ago. And I still have sticky notes in my apartment from it's a great course. I can't suggest it enough. I'm not even a year after my divorce. My anniversary of that is coming up in June, and I am contemplating taking this course again. So
Oh,
I love it a lot. It's really helpful no matter where you are, whether you're getting a divorce or not.
Good. Thank you,
thank
Lindsay. I
you,
appreciate
Lindsay.
it.
And Lindsay is not a paid spokesperson.
Yeah, she's, or is Leslie.